Welcome back to Slough House, a podcast about Apple TV Plus's show Slow Horses. This is season 5. My name's Catfish, and with me, as always, is someone whose sting in the tail turned out to be just hemorrhoids. It's Bubba.
Catfish, you can say what you want, but I am in a
can.
great mood. You want to know why?
Yeah.
Tara lives. Tara survives. She can join the Slough House crew and be there every season, being beautiful and doing nothing wrong. Guys, I'm so excited.
All right. Well, we are going to be talking about the final episode in season 5, which is episode 6, Scars. It's up to the Slow Horses to stop Farouk's team from completing their mission in a final act of mass carnage.
Ooh, on this podcast, we're going to rank the episode. We're going to have our weekly segments, the triple R's.
Triple R.
That's Roddy, Rowdy's raunchiness. And we're going to discuss something I like to call triple L's.
Oh, triple L's.
Lamb's luscious lines. Oh,
we love
plus
it.
We're going to dust off our robes, dust off our wigs, dust off our gavels, and debate in the crown court. Plus, we've got feedback from true double L's.
Double L's.
Loyal listeners like Sean Gregan.
Right.
We love Sean
Hey,
Gregan.
Ref.
Zephyr Cat. Gen X Cat Mom, 1D Forever, the Nathan Geck, RSJ63, Deborah Thomas, Kilt Lover 1971, and AJ, and so much more. I love it.
I love it too, Bubba.
Did you love this episode? Did you love this final episode?
All right, so let me give you my ratings. First of all, I've got to tell you, it's on the octuple C scale.
Now, I know English well enough that if it's an octuple C, that means 2 C's.
A times 4. That is great. Bubba, you're always good at guessing these. Any idea what the octuple C's are? Any of the
Octuple
C's?
C.
Yeah.
Is your name Catfish one of the C's?
Oh, that is correct. I'm going to give you 2 letters for that. Van is turning around twice, okay?
You could have done chaos. You could have done cover up. You could have done other words that begin with C. I don't know. What is
All right, here we go, Bubba. You got 2 out of the 8. That's a failing grade. It is, as we all know, clever and correct catfish, confused catfish, championship cutter, co.
What?
Sorry, that's 9 C's.
9 C's.
5, 6, 7, 8. No, it's 8 C's. I was right. Octuple C's. All right. First of all, I was clever about who the second honeypot was. That it was Waylon, and that Waylon's file was grabbed to figure out how to manipulate him. I was also correct that Lamb was talking about himself in the story. One of the final scenes, seeing Lamb's horrific feet. Almost as gross as the top of his desk, which we got a really disturbing view of in this episode.
You don't want to know what the Stasi did to the top of his desk.
Oh my God, Bubba! But I was so confused and just played wrong about whether the tape would come back. When basically it is the only reason Ho came back. Now you can also say it's the only reason Slough House is still existing. We didn't really think that was going to be on the table. They sort of manipulated things at the last second to kind of put that on the table. I'm going to say one thing, and I love Lamb. I love Lamb always being a step ahead. Or should I say I love Lamb being a step ahead like 80% of the time. Was a step ahead of everything in this episode, not just where the attack was, but also that Tara wasn't in control, so the attack was still going to go down. I wasn't a fan of that. The sting in the tail, by the way, wasn't planned. I mean, the Abbotsfield sting in the tail was, but not Waylon, because that was the guy who went rogue. So all in all, I enjoyed it. This season, we'll talk about it later. I gave this a 7 octuple C's, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 octuple C's out of 10, Bubba. Whoa. Who cares what I think? I presume later on we're going to get some more feedback about how much people hate what I think. So why don't you tell us what you think?
Well, Catfish, I'm just 1 grade above you. You gave it 7 out of 10. I'm giving this 8 out of 10 double J's.
Double J's. Oh, look, I get to guess now too. It's Jumpin' Jehoshaphat's.
No, that is Possibly something we should edit out of the podcast. Okay, that's not it. Well, I'm sure this was your actual guess. So I'm giving it 8 out of 10 double J's for Jim Justice. Waylon's guard, Jim, died and then was dumped out of the car onto the park path to help protect Wayland. That is Jim Justice. If you are supposed to protect the head of MI5 and you get stabbed in a car seat while you're still wearing a seatbelt, you deserve no justice, Jim. Jim Justice means your corpse gets dumped in the park. 8 out of 10. I love slow horses because it takes big risks. And this show takes huge risks. Oh my God, we're going to blow up the memorial for the first shooting, the terrible mass shooting that happened in the opening episode. I think that is a wonderful twist, a great twist, a big swing. I love the new pairings of Shirley and Catherine. They work great together. Co drives me insane, but Co and River are a fun pair. This show does so many things well.
Co took care of business today. He kept alive the jerkwad mayor.
Amen. But, Catfish, you are 100% right. Jackson Lamb needs to be thrown off his game more. If Jackson is never panicked, if Jackson is never challenged, then it feels like the show doesn't have any stakes. If he is too powerful and he knows everything, it really robs us of any tension that we should feel. And something like this should feel really tense. The opening massacre in Abbott's Field felt incredibly tense.
Oh, yeah.
Lamb wasn't there. He didn't have a part in it. He couldn't figure it out ahead of time. One of my favorite moments this season is when Lamb's like, oh, I want to use the bathroom. And Devin, the dog, says, oh, I know you hit a toilet in the bowl. A gun in the bowl. I already caught it. Lamb is so lackadaisical and so ahead of everything. To me, it robs the stakes a bit. So the last couple episodes, I've gone 9 out of 10. This episode, to me, is a step down, kind of because of a similar point to you. And we love Jackson Lamb, but he's got to earn it, right? Earn our love.
Yeah, no, I agreed about that it sort of messes with the stakes because Jackson could just be there and just sort of wielding his guys as he sees fit. He was on top of Tara, poor girl. In seemingly every episode he interacted with her.
Yes.
And so it was just too much. And what did you think about the, before we talked about how at least I had said these guys are obviously kind of sort of blundering idiots. It's good to see that Tara's actually in charge, but then it turns out Tara's not actually in charge. What did you think about that?
I actually would have enjoyed the story more if Tara had been in charge. I think that's a fun twist. I think it's a inversion of
it seems like she was the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
But in the end didn't really have control, and I guess we could have seen it from that guy because since he was basically threatening fellow members of his compatriots that perhaps he was in it for more than money.
Farouk is good because he's so bad, but he's also feels like a very limiting character because he's so bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With Tara's, kind of devious ability to kind of pretend to be a lamb, that makes her better. And so I don't know. Wonderful things.
And I will say this, I don't know if this bothered you, but I thought she did a lot better job in the rest of the episodes. I thought some of the stuff she did in this episode wasn't as good, and so that sort of brought this episode down for me as well.
Okay. Catfish, what do we like to say about our opinions? Who cares?
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
People care only so they can mock and humiliate us, which we are 100% behind, Bubba. So listen, you need to reach out to us through YouTube, any social media except for TikTok, because Bubba is scared of the Chinese government more than the Libyan government. And reach out to us at double PHQ, the word double, the letters P, H, and Q. If you're on YouTube, do all the things that you're supposed to do on YouTube, the good things, and then also give us comments. Again, we will read anything, no matter how vituperative it is towards us. And actually, since there's two of us, it's always a joy for one of us to read really mean comments about the other person.
And the best thing you can do, whether you're on audio podcasts or YouTube, is
Okay.
subscribe. We are kind of an odd podcast channel.
You can say that again.
When you get into podcasting, the first
Hmm.
instruction anybody gives you is, well, if you're going to podcast, you got to do it every week and be consistent so that the listeners
Absolutely.
can grow. We're like, ooh, we're interested in these two shows, and we'll be doing two shows one week, and then we could go 4 months without doing a show because we're like, none of that stuff really interests us. So please subscribe. When we do a show, we have passionate about it and we give it our all. We'll leave you for a couple months if we're not passionate about anything on, but we're going to be back and we're going to give it to you. So please subscribe. We
Oh,
want you.
we are going to give it to you.
Yeah, I know. Whether you, right, we're really going to give it to you. Join us on this silly, wacky fun because we do talk about great shows like Slow Horses. I mean, come on. Catfish, one thing that this show does is it keeps the characters we love trapped in Slough House. And it looks like at the end of season 5, River Cartwright, even though he did save Waylon's skin, it looks
Yeah.
like he's going back to Slough House, and that's his only option. Despite what he said on the message to Louisa, he's going to be stuck there near the Barbican Center. Does River deserve to go to the park? Has he done enough? Say what you want to about Lamb, but it really was River putting together this kind of jumble thing that his grandpa said about bees to realize, hey, there's another attack coming. Is that enough to get River back to the park? Should he go back? Forget whether he would, because the show certainly doesn't want him to. Should River
No.
go back? What do
Well,
you
this
think?
is funny because one of the things that we debated this season was whether the show needs River or not. He was depressed this season. I didn't like it. Seems like he well, I don't know whether he's going to pull out of it, considering he thought he was gone and now he's going to be back at Slough House. Bubba,
Yeah.
I know some things have happened in the past, very recent past in this show, I guess, where River's done some really bad, really dumb things. But I think figuring this out and saving the head of MI5, even if it's not the one who is now taking over MI5, I think he deserves to go back.
Over somebody like Coe, who saved the day in the end. He's the one who really saved the mayor's life. Does he deserve to go back over Shirley, who was able to put together that there was an assassination attempt on Ho? Why does River deserve it when they don't? And because I assume you're implying that they don't.
Right, right. And maybe I'm just sexist. But it feels like River has shown some real competence this season, and I think saving the head of being there for saving the mayor,
Right.
and doing the trick to distract the terrorist, and allowing Ko to sneak up on him, and then saving the head of MI5, knowing that there was an additional thing coming when everybody else has stood down. I think you've got to call him, even though Ko is my hero. I
Yeah.
think you'd have to genuinely say that River is got to be considered a hero in this.
Catfish, just
Yeah.
so I understand, you want River back in the park in MI5. How many people do you think are working there in the park for MI5? How many people are
Oh
there?
God. Okay. I mean, I think you probably have like a good 400 people working there,
400 people.
but yeah.
400 people.
But
And
some
he
of them are
didn't-
like doing coffee and
Right,
maybe
right.
there's like 40 dogs, agents.
40, sure.
Yeah.
440. When he learned that they could be trying to kill Wayland, how many of those 440 people did he call for backup and support?
There wasn't
Who could
time,
have gotten
Bubba.
there early to save Jim?
Bubba, there
None.
was not
Jim
time.
is dead. Jim Justice didn't happen. How many of those 440 people did River call when they were running to the Abbott Community Center for the memorial, for backup? River called nobody. That is a big zero. So what are my chances of getting River back to the park? Zero. Call for backup. You know what? This is a phone. Use it, River. Your grandpa knows how to use it. He keeps calling you. You don't know how to answer. The end. It's
Now,
Slough House, you
Bubba,
bum. Oh, yeah.
now let me ask you one question. All right, so you're saying
one
all these
question.
people did these other things, and why don't they deserve to go?
He could have
Now,
called Duncan.
What? What if
Duncan.
they found out that he was also involved in the misadventure killing of Gimbal? Don't you think? Don't you think they would send him back?
You know what? Who could have taken that paint can? One of the 400 people who work, if he had had any backup. Instead, he was stuck with that Lemon Co. And so I
Oh,
say,
you mean Hero?
Lemon. I said before the season, I'll go ahead and say it now. I was going to wait till the show. I said during the season that Co drove me crazy. And I said, he's going to have to do something awesome with that push knife for me to get on Co's side. He did something awesome with the push knife. He saved the mayor's life. Guess whose side I'm not on? Co's. He's terrible. Get him out of my show. That's my.
Oh man, he's the best only because I would only accept that if you said because the mayor should have gone the way of Gimbal.
Right, right. I would have only appreciated Co if he brought a second paint bucket to Jeffrey's thing. Hey, listeners, we are being a bit silly, but also actually a bit serious in this. What do you think? Does he deserve to go back to the park? Go down in the YouTube comments. Let us know. Social media at WPHQ. What's next, Catfish?
Bubba, it is the Triple L.
Triple L?
Lamb's Luscious Lines, and we have got a cap full tonight, Bubba. I noticed you noted one is one of the ones I wrote down, but why don't you say yours and then I will go through the rest.
The one that I thought was the cleverest, the smartest, and I actually laughed the loudest at was a Lamb Luscious line that Lamb wasn't there for. I thought Tavener, evil, now first desk Tavener, got the best line in the episode to me. When Waylon is doing kind of what everybody's doing, firewall, backup, he's just shouting things. Tavener with her classic comeback. I don't think shouting out random words you found at the bottom of an email is going to help. Ba-boom! That was brilliant, Boom. Catfish. Give Tavener her due. For that line alone, put her at first desk. Let's go.
I love it. Now, you know what? That was a fabulous line.
Thank you.
But to the show's credit, it had a lot of competition tonight. First, Lamb to Tavener. When Tavener's like, wait, if you knew all this, why didn't you call Waylon? And Lamb says to Tavener, I'd have given him a call, but I thought you'd enjoy watching him make a complete and utter tit of himself.
Oh, now what are the odds? 100%.
Lamb to River. It's the perfect turnaround. When Lamb's like, why aren't you sending anybody out if you know this information? River said, and Lamb says, I'm sending my best agents. And you.
Ouch, hurtful. That is a bad way. Nobody on HR is going to prove that comment, Catfish.
Oh my God. And then the head dog, as she's taking Tara to prison, she said, I'd take prison any day after dating Roddy Ho.
Mean and cruel, but very
Now,
good.
Here's
very
one
good.
that is not so luscious, but it's a little heavier, but also still good. When River's like, I'm going back to Slough House. And Lamb says, it's not the hope that kills you. It's knowing the hope kills you that kills you. But Bubba, my favorite line, and I'm not even going to quote it, I'm just going to say what it was. When our lovely mayor decided that a funeral was a perfect opportunity to quote Dom from Fast and Furious 7.
Too fast, too furious, too thoughtful. And it wasn't a funeral, Catfish. It was a memorial. That is completely the place.
Oh, my God.
Fast and Furious quotes.
Bubba, don't forget. Never forget.
Was that the Fast and Furious you were in, Catfish?
No, I was in 4. Fast and Furious, I think.
Oh, wow.
Just without the. And no space. They didn't go to space. All right, Bubba.
Yeah. We
have got a game. Our longtime listeners must be joyful now because you managed to squeeze this game in from a podcast we did on Babylon Berlin. You managed to squeeze it into at least one episode of every pod we do. So, Bubba,
it's a good game.
It's a great game. Of course, the original, as I said, was for Babylon Berlin, a German show. So it's called Who's the Worst? What happens is we pit people against each other in ascending rounds. People have been seated, and then we discuss it, we vote, we pick, and then by the end we have who is the worst person for Slow Horses season 5? Bubba,
Yeah.
do you want to give us the contestants for round one?
All right. So we have Tara, who honeypotted two sweet, innocent, lonely men in Ho and Wayland. And she was working with terrorists, and she wants cash too. Is Tara the worst, or is the person Tara was reporting to, Farouk, the worst? Forget that he was a terrorist, forget that he killed people and convinced people to commit terrorist acts. Farouk was also a bad friend, a bad friend and a bad boss and a bad teammate and a bad coach, and always insulting and berating his own players, his own team. So
Well,
is
this is a
Farouk the worst, or is Tara the worst? Catfish, who you got?
I'm going to make this analogy and then I'm going to tell you why I picked the person I picked.
Sure.
You know, there are people who, in our government, people who've been elected
Hmm.
who are true believers in some really crazy and horrific things.
MGP.
And I hate those people, Bubba. I hate them because they're selfish
Yeah.
and they don't care about the common good.
Right.
But then there are people who know better, but for money reasons and to be
Hmm.
reelected reasons,
Hmm.
parrot talking points that they know are ridiculous. And I hate those people even more, Bubba. I
Whoa.
hate those people even more.
Mm.
So because of that, instead of picking the true believer Farouk, I'm going to pick Tara as the verse because she spouted all these things, but she just wants the money at the end of the day.
Oh my goodness
She's like the
gracious.
Jordan Hudson of Libya.
I'm going to pretend I got that reference.
Okay, good, good, good,
All
good.
right. So that means that
Yep.
Tara moves on to round two. Who's Tara taking on in round two? Catfish, is
All right,
Tara the
so this is
worst,
it.
or
People have the buys. So now Tara wins for Verst, and she goes up against our boy Waylon. Mealy mouthed, what else would you say? Ineffective, deceptive, blackmailer, spends too much money on his hair. What other horrible things do you want to say about Waylon?
well, is Tara the worst or Wayland? Now, Tara was part of a terrorist organization. Wayland
Yes.
has a daddy savior complex. And
Uh-huh.
as someone who also suffers from that, I know how bad it can be. And so, because I would never say anything bad about my girl Tara,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say between Tara and Waylon, whose incompetence allowed some of these acts to happen, I'm going to say former first desk Waylon is the worst. Catfish. He's going on to round three.
All right, so if Tara is Jordan Hudson, then the guy with the daddy savior complex is obviously Bill Belichick. So that means I'm going to say that Waylon, our
Yeah.
Bill Belichick in this example, is the worst. Do you agree,
Okay.
Bubba?
I agree.
Waylon?
Yes,
All
yes.
right.
He's going to round three. And so here you go, Catfish.
Mhm.
Waylon, incompetent, terrible, tried to blame other people and do London rules for all his screw ups. He's going up against somebody
Mhm.
who not only allowed a terrorist into MI5's database, but then never once said, I'm sorry, I screwed up. And instead was a sexist, idiotic jerk. And he didn't even help MI5 clean up the patch of code that they released.
Yeah,
He
but
just stood
Gimbal died
around
already.
talking
Gimbal's
trash.
already died for this.
Roddy Ho. Who's the
Roddy
worst?
Ho? Wait a
Roddy or
sec. What did you?
Wayland?
I don't believe you know how this game works.
Let's
Who's
hear
the
it, Catfish. Who's
worst?
the worst?
Yeah, Roddy Ho should be in the who's the best
No,
conversation.
no.
Oh
He's
man.
the worst dresser. He's the worst idiot. Wayland was unsuccessful in many of his moves, but he made moves. Roddy didn't even know he was making moves. He let the terrorist in. He didn't even know it was a move. Roddy Ho is the worst. That's my vote.
Oh my God. You know what, Bubba? I'm just gonna
Yeah.
let you have it because I feel like I took over the last two. I just want to say this feels like the same kind of argument I'm making. Somebody who does wrong through ignorance and stupidity versus someone who does wrong through manipulation and scheming. But you know what, Bubba? I'm gonna let you have it.
Thank you.
Roddy Ho beats Waylon. I don't know how it came this, but now we've got the final round. Who's the verse?
Final round.
And you know what? This is how you know Bubba set up the seeding for this. Because somehow at the very top of the Who's the Verse, without having to go back anybody else,
three buys.
He was the number one seed. Number one seed, 3 buys. It is Roddy Ho versus Co. And for someone who loves this show, all of a sudden, the verse, we have to pick between 2 of the people who work at Slough House. We don't have any terrorists. We don't have anybody who's done horrible things to our Slough House people.
Okay, well...
I mean, I'm surprised you haven't picked River's grandfather for this, but okay, let's hear it.
That's the bonus round.
Roddy...
Grandpa Cartwright is the bonus round. Okay.
Roddy Ho versus
Co.
Cutting champion Co. Triple C. All right, let's hear this. Co, go ahead. Let's hear this. You've been against him all season. You don't like the cut of his jib.
All right. Number 1.
Uh-huh.
Who looks better? Roddy in his fancy jumper, his sweet outfit that he goes on a date with, or a slob who wears a disgusting hoodie that it looks better when the hood is up? Oh, we're Co.
This is hurtful.
Roddy looks better. Co looks worse. All right, he's the first. All right, here we go. Who has a lot of skills that have helped our slow horses out? Roddy with his computer hacking skills, his information skills out. Very helpful. Co, what did he help? He helped kill Gimbal. That's 2 worst things. He murdered a guy with a paint can.
You know what? I just want you to remember all your arguments for Roddy Ho on the last round. Okay, and then let's talk about Co.
One final thing. One final thing about Co.
Yep, go ahead. Let's hear it.
The most evil thing you can do, Catfish.
Let's hear it. What is it?
Have you ever heard the term God's green earth?
Yeah.
When you abuse cherries, like
he's an environmentalist. I'm on that count. You're completely wrong. He's an environmentalist. Bubba.
Yes.
Co.
Yeah, let's hear it. The worst.
Okay, look, he's made some mistakes.
Yes.
But he was the person that brought up the destabilization strategy. Even Lamb, who seems to know everything else, including what people ate for lunch, was not the one who came up with the idea of that they were using the destabilization strategy. And Co was the one who finally used the knife that you've been begging him to use. So because he did what you wanted him to do, finally, Co cannot end up being the verse.
Hold on, Catfish. So who was the first one this season to mention destabilization, strategy theory?
Co.
Right. So who do you think taught the terrorists the plan?
MI5. MI5 taught him the plan.
What is Co in? Co is in MI5. You just proved my point.
Listen, now you're proving my point.
Your point.
That if we want someone to blame for the destabilization strategy, we need to bring in River's grandfather for the bonus round.
Grandpa Cartwright is the worst.
All right, I'm glad out of that. It comes out of nowhere. Poor bastard. But you know what? He won't remember anyway, so that's okay. All right, Bubba, that's enough of that ridiculous.
He's going to be called River. I've just been named the oh, look at this butterfly. There you go. He's the worst.
The worst. All right, let's get into this episode, which has got lots of twists and turns in it, Bubba.
One of the big twists and turns was that it began the next day. Like literally the screens were going down, the terrorists were on the move. And then, it's like sunny over London. And I'm like, how much time has elapsed? Enough to where Waylon is sleeping on the couch. The systems are still down. And probably the sure sign of pandemonium, Roddy Ho, who should have gone back in the cell once he got his, once he opened up his laptop, he's just hanging out, chilling, eating an apple, just like Co. They're eating the cherries. They're all the worst. And a countdown screen has started. Never good. Why do terrorists even have a countdown screens? They kind of give, they give away the ghost that it's going to happen around this time. Oh my God, terrible Catfish.
I don't know. She makes a call. It feels like you're already in charge of their systems. You don't need to
Yeah.
gild the lily by putting a countdown on there, but okay, fancy. We'll take it.
Tavener and Wayland Catfish are fighting. You know, Wayland's like, you should have never run the code on our system, where Tavener's like, letting Tara go was stupid. Which we were just talking about who's the worst. Which of these moves was the worst? Was it worse to run the code, the patch inside your network, or was it worse to let an asset like Tara out of the building? Which was worse in your opinion?
I would have assumed if she was really in charge and them having her was going to make the difference, then letting her go was going to be the worst. But since she really didn't have any hold on anybody, it turns out that actually running the code also didn't do that much really either, I guess. In the end, neither one of those things mattered really, I
Right.
guess, as far as stopping the terrorist. But as far as the money, running the code.
Oh, there you go. 100% true. 100% true. Now, we may be talking about this line a little later, but Roddy, as the reason why he wasn't the worst is because he does try to cheer up his coworkers. Did you like this line he told Waylon? He's like, listen, buddy, you didn't stand a chance. She's a female me. That's why I fell in love with her. Oh my God, that
But
is
that is my mistake.
brilliant.
I should have kept that in Lamb's luscious lines.
Brilliant.
That's not an even inappropriate thing to say at the work environment.
Ugh.
It's not a rowdy line. It's a luscious line. Oh, and then we've got so moving forward, the Libyan ambassador calls for Waylon.
Whoa,
And
this was
Waylon's
crazy. Just talking about how I was reacting in the episode. I'm expecting big craziness. I was not expecting £100 million bribery attempt. I was not expecting them to go into a Libyan embassy and hold the ambassador hostage. These were
were you
like I said,
could
big
you
shocks.
you weren't expecting one person with one handgun to be able to basically shut down the whole Libyan embassy? That's kind of a
No, I
surprise.
don't. What's so funny is my very first time in London, I knew nothing. I didn't do enough research. I needed to go to Rick Steves ahead of time. I didn't, but I thought, well, what's the best part of town to stay in? I'm like, oh, well, this hotel's Grosvenor Square. It's near the American Embassy. That's probably a fun place to stay. It was the quietest, most boring area of London. I always had to walk like half a mile to get anywhere fun. So, yeah, who knew embassies were so easy to take over? Now we know.
Yeah,
Now we know.
shocking, shocking. I mean, even though she's Libyan, they're not going to let her bring a gun in
Right,
there.
bring a gun in, you're crazy. Now,
No.
Wayland is, and we're going to debate this in the Crown Court, but Wayland is so pathetic. They've made him so pathetic. He's getting pantsed at every moment on this show. This is like an office gag, the show The Office. Wayland's like, listen, okay, they're going to attack a place of worship. Well, Muslims don't worship on Sunday. He turns to a gentleman. I'm right in thinking that, aren't I? The dude looks at him. Well, I'm a Sikh. Oh my God, Waylon is he is too just as Lamb is too competent and knows too much stuff. They needed to give Waylon some wins. This was tough.
Lamb being ahead of the curve didn't bother me until this episode, but Waylon being portrayed as such a doof and being in this job has bothered me all season. So I won't go into it since I've covered it extensively in previous episodes.
Okay, how about this? We've debated a million things already. What do you think? Whalen is like the prime minister is not going to give in to terrorist demands. Where Tavener's like, listen, we don't want another mass shooting. Let's just give the cash. Is there a right answer to this? Were you on either side in this case?
Well, Bubba, you and I, we're not high up in the income brackets.
Hey.
However, for me, I would say that for a country like London, $100 million cheap. If it was £1 billion, then maybe I would be like, I don't know. But 100 million? Psh, chump change for for England.
We didn't have this character in the worst, but he is a recurring SOB.
We should have named this category
Right,
after
right.
him.
We should. Who's the Peter Judd? He comes in and Tavener remembers, hey, you remember how you were repping that Libyan group when you came to my house that night? Oh, snap, the payment is going through an offshore trust where he's the director. He is the worst. Oh, only
Yeah.
Grandpa Cartwright could beat him at this case. He
He's like,
makes
yeah, no, I was going to get them the money and then they were going to give me a little bit of it, but they've already given me a couple hundred grand so far,
right, which he hasn't
which
declared on his taxes yet. Honest
amazing,
mistake. Oh my God.
amazing. Nor has he, I guess, registered as a foreign agent.
Oh my gosh, whoopsie. Holy smokes, Catfish. This guy, he's the closest to an American politician we have on the show. Uh,
He really is.
Now, Wayland, we're already in the episode seeing Wayland doing London rules. When he calls the prime minister to talk about this, hey, we've got 12 minutes to either pay or possibly suffer some consequences. Wayland's already throwing Tavener under the bus. I don't know how this really works. You would assume in London, in the United Kingdom, the rule, the buck always stops here. The buck starts at the top. So a number one blaming his number two for a mistake, I don't know how that's going to work. Long story short, the terrorists got the money. Good friggin'
They
grief.
did indeed get the
Good
money.
grief, man.
Not that it mattered one bit.
Well, somebody named Lamb who knows everything, he's kind of the worst too. Tavener calls him almost for some advice. She knows Lamb is a complete jerk, but he oftentimes knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He says, you'll just have to pay the money and hangs up on her. Wow. Wow. Not nice.
No, they have what I call a prickly relationship.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But if she's calling you to stop possibly a mass shooting at a place of worship, maybe it is that simple, but have some etiquette,
Look,
dude.
if he knows where it is already, he wants to get credit for it.
I guess. Does he?
Yeah, in the end, once again, that didn't matter towards him being saved. The only thing that saved him was the tape that
Yep.
I blithely said would not reappear this season.
Now, Lamb is there with the slow horses. They all want to do something. If what's so funny is I joke about how Lamb's a terrible manager. He does, I guess, know how to push their buttons. And it's like him not doing anything makes them want to do it even more, right? And I think in some ways, I guess you would say as a manager, he's making them think for themselves when he just says a line like, there are a million houses of worship that they could attack. But the one I'd choose, well, it would only occur to a complete and utter psychopath. And that is all Co needs. You're almost winner of Who's the Worst. Co knows Shirley wants to leave, River wants to leave. The crowd is going. Is this a good management style from Jackson Lamb, Catfish, or should he have just told them so they could have gotten there even sooner?
Well, I guess there's only some things he can do, like continually catch Tara, and there's stuff that he assigns other people to do.
Yeah, well, Tara knows they've got the money. She calls Farouk. She's like, Farouk, stand down, buddy. We did it. We're going to win. We're going to get to the airport. We've done it. And Farouk is just like, yeah, that's not how this works. Recruits don't give orders. Ouch. Once again, management styles are very important here, Catfish. Should a manager listen to his underlings or just dismiss them like Farouk did Tara?
I mean, I don't even know why Farouk bothered with the $100 million.
Right. Right.
He
What's the
doesn't
point?
seem like he cares about that
Man.
part at all.
No, he wants eye for eye justice.
Hmm.
Why did he want to kill Mayor Jaffrey so much? I don't quite understand that. Maybe I've missed it because part of this wasn't just, hey, I want an eye for an eye justice. It's I wanted to kill that guy and I didn't get the chance. So,
Well, I mean, the funny thing is, if you look at this guy and you think he's got it all right,
mhm.
right? But it ends up being the guy who we thought was like scared or not committed, who's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the right person for this.
Ooh, I like
Like the
that. I like
person who
that. Yeah, I like
instigated
that a
this
lot.
against us. I agree. Once again, it's sort of a little weird that Farouk would go here rather than after somebody more in power. But You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, when you think
they
about the
just the whole,
country, the
yeah,
mayor of London had nothing to do with the country's policy towards Libya, the UK's policy towards Libya.
right. But he just wants the country to feel
Right.
fear that
Yeah,
any
that's true.
large gatherings or whatever can just be, people can just be mowed down. So, but yes, I do agree with the with our scaredy cat terrorist.
The scaredy so much as, listen, I want the right people to suffer, which,
Right,
I mean, I
exactly.
guess you respect good work, terrorists. That's the right attitude. And what am I supposed to say? This is terrible. Now, Lamb and Catherine
Hmm.
have nothing to do. So once again, this is Lamb being a manager. He puts Catherine down. How dare you bring me a veggie sausage roll? I wanted a sausage roll, damn it. But he also knows that Catherine wants to be involved. Catherine needs to be involved. She's it's not just that she's saying, "Hey, we've got to stop it." She wants to be part of the stopping of it, and he does somehow talk her into risking
Yeah.
her life. This is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he goads her again while also once again mentioning her alcoholism.
Yes. Wow. Wow.
Brutal.
Yes. And so Catherine goes in. We should talk about this, Catfish. This show has a history through the previous seasons of we lose agents. A lot of times, let's be honest, agents die. In this episode, were you ever feel fearful that a member of Slough House was going to buy it? Were you fearful Catherine was going to go?
I didn't, I mean, things are happening so fast
Hmm.
that I think if you really slow down and think about her going in there by herself
Yeah.
without any conversation, without saying to Tara, I know, well, I've got to get you out of here. She's just like, get out of here and we'll get out of there. And that going kind of as smoothly as it did, the whole takeover of the Libyan embassy and then coming out of the Libyan embassy, it has to go by really fast not to bug you as far as feasibility wise.
Well, I'm going to say this. I wasn't afraid for Catherine's life for a couple reasons, but probably the main one was this was Jackson's plan. It's what we talked about. Jackson is always right. So if he's saying do it, nothing could ever happen to you, right? Nothing
All right.
nothing could go wrong. So I didn't have a fear, and that is one reason why this episode ticked down a bit for me in my rating
All
from a
right.
9 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10. And how about this? Do you like Catherine in this? She's always been a bit of a mothering figure to many of the Slough House agents, but do you like her in the office better, or do you like her, here in these life-threatening situations in the field? Because I think it's fun seeing her in the field and
It's
throwing
great
her
seeing her in
water
the field.
bottles.
Yeah, throwing her water bottles, doing whatever she can. She's brassy. This did not come out of nowhere for me.
Right.
It's not like, oh my God, all of a sudden she's doing this kind of stuff. So it's great to see her do it because I believe that she can do it, and it's cool to see her out there.
Okay, let's get to Abbotsfield. Mayor Jaffrey is speaking. He's talking. What was funny is they cut to later, but I'm sure we haven't read this book, but I'm heard in the book, the mayor actually talks about all the Fast and Furious films individually.
Sure, sure, sure. Well, hopefully it gets to my part.
He's like,
Uh,
first Dom does this. First Dom's a villain because he's doing these car races. Uh,
family. And then he pulls a beer out.
he's like, listen, and then they go to space. Like it's like our victims went to heaven.
All right,
Okay.
so the slow horses come in
Oh
and
my
they
Lord.
are just getting people the hell out of there, which I think is appropriate considering the number of people they have, right? If they had a larger number of people, but they just got to get people out of there
So
to
you agree with
disperse.
Coe's thing. My thought was Coe is lucky that the terrorists were already kind of in the building. Because if they hadn't been in the building and suddenly they were trying to get to the building and they see a mass of people walking out into the little square there, they would just open fire. And so I
Right, but
kind of
some
thought,
people still could have like run back into the church or run away. Like,
eh,
I think you got to get them out of. They're in like a little trapped kill zone there.
no,
I
that's
think
okay.
it's
All
best to
right.
get them
I
out of there.
understand that thought. I'm still not sure it's correct because it's coming from Coe, but sure.
You got a real co hang up.
How about this? Jaffrey he's real like
What a
you would
jerk.
think about this. I mean, because I mean, I suppose MI5 agents don't really wear uniforms when because the three of them come in, they do look like people off the street, meaning River, Shirley, and Co. And they're screaming, "Get out!" I mean, you look at your guards. Your guards are like in suits. That makes more sense. MI5 doesn't make them wear suits and do this kind of stuff.
Well, right, but they're doing like undercover stuff. So it's
Yeah,
like
no,
your
I
guards are
understand,
showing
but I'm
off. Yeah, no,
saying
but
that,
when they show you your thing, like they made him a real jerk in this season.
kind
And
of, yeah, they did.
they did. I mean, and when you quote from, again, Fast and Furious movie, you've really stepped it up to 10. But he kind of goes to 12 here instead of saying
Oh,
thanks or like, okay, if there's any chance it's in a safe situation, we need to get everybody out. But he's more like you stepped on my on my speech.
yep.
It's very heavy. And again, that one he went to 12.
Okay. Well, Waylon starts yelling at River, and all this time, finally, Farouk and terrorist number two show up. And Farouk, like I said, he wants the mayor. He wants the plan to go forward. He wants them
Hmm.
destabilized. This Shirley, let me say, I knew it would happen. You knew it would happen. Shirley gets a gun, one shot, a kill shot right in the head.
Rivers shot like 12 times. And
Right.
she's like, what did she say to him? Do you do any training on that
Oh my
thing?
God. So good. It just proves what I've always learned at the shooting range. Do a little coke first.
Boom. It improves your sharpshooting.
Frug knew he couldn't get out of there. Why not just shoot the mayor? Why not just shoot him? Why just be like, hey, get me out of here as you're holding the gun to the mayor? You wanted to kill him? You could have killed him, Farouk. This is on you.
I'm done bringing up improbable things that happened in the episode, Bubba, because it allows us for two great moments.
Okay.
One is Shirley and River arguing, and they're really having an argument.
Yes.
He's saying Rivers like like spitting like hundo p. What do you call a buck?
Keep it a
Rivers
buck.
Rivers keeping it a buck, and he's telling the guy everything. And Shirley's just like, no, 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 don't listen to any of that stuff. It's all gonna be fine. And then our hero, our magnificent hero,
Oh.
steps out into a shining
Mm,
light from heaven and uses his push knife
the
and
push knife.
it was magnificent and
No,
amazing.
come on. Come
10
on.
out of 10 for that kill.
No, the kill wasn't worth it, but Mayor Jaffrey going, "Oh, you weren't really arguing, you were distracting him." I love that moment. I thought
That
that
is
was really
so
good.
good. It's so good. Both Shirley and River like, I guess they hate each other so much they almost don't go along with it,
I know.
even to save face.
So let's talk about the fallout, which we
Let's do
didn't
it.
know that the bee sting was coming. Taverner knows it's London rules. Peter Judd is trying to do London rules. He's calling Wayland and he's like, okay, we are both going to be underneath this. We are both going to take the rightful blame that we're about to take. This is a plan. Let's talk about Judd's plan. The plan is that, if I understand it correctly, they're going to claim that Judd went to Jackson Lamb and warned him about this, and
Hmm.
Lamb did nothing. That's the
Correct.
plan.
Correct.
And there's no record of them going to Lamb. This seems really flimsy. Is that enough cover your arse for you? Or is it actually smart because Lamb can't deny it because there is no record of anything?
Once again, I'm going to plead the fifth on this, and that will tell you my feelings about how well structured I thought the plan was to get them both out of it.
River visits Grandpa Cartwright. How do we
Yes.
haven't really, because he barely appeared in the season. What are your thoughts on, I believe the character's name is David Cartwright, Grandpa Cartwright, still being around, still being almost an inspiration to the boy that he raised, his grandson River? What do you think?
They were able to squeeze him in for the last important piece of information. So I guess that was good. He got his season, and I guess there's no miraculous fixes coming for him. So I don't know how much more we'll have of him next season.
River calls Lamb. He's like, hey, this bee sting's about to come. Lamb's like, who do you think deserves a punishment greater than utter humiliation? Cut to Wayland. This is some good editing. This is like
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
editing, almost Parks and Recreation type joke. Actually, it's an old Laverne and Shirley joke where they'd be like, "What kind of losers would fall for this?" And then suddenly Lenny and Squiggy would walk in for all my older viewers. Hell yeah!
Oh, yes.
Does Waylon now? Like I said, he's been pants the whole season. He's been presented as a bozo, but let's ignore all of this part of it. But the reason why, one of the reasons why they really hate the terrorists hate Wayland is because he says, "Listen, way back when I thought Libya was a poor investment. Is that a bad thing? I mean, he's just advising some people. He wasn't the one doing the policy. It sounded to me like he was just saying, listen, Libya is not worth it's not worth the squeeze. Let's get out of here.
Right, right, right. I understand what you're saying. And obviously he wasn't making decisions, but at
Right.
least he's somebody who did something more than the mayor and Gimbel did to affect the situation in Libya.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now this what you were calling the scaredy cat terrorist, he took out R.I.P. Jim Justice,
Oh,
but
sorry.
he is a terrible shot. I mean, he's got Waylon dead to rights. It seems like several times in this scene before River comes up and saves him, don't you think?
Well, it appears that he went to the same instructor as River did, except
Oh,
for all of a sudden,
yep.
when it gets to the end of this, River, very effective. Two shots, both looked like kill shots.
Yeah, he needed broad daylight, bright light in the
Okay.
Abbotsfield Community Center, too dark. So yeah, that's all it took there, Catfish. Good work, River. And River, do not do this. And that is eat at Bepe's Cafe, which is a real restaurant right there by the Barbican Center. We all love it. Lamb is hanging out there rather than talking to Wheelan, Catfish. And you're right. River thinks he's earned it. He thinks this is it. I did it. I did it. And there's no blemishes because they don't know about the paint can fiasco. He even calls Louisa and tells her, hey, I'm leaving Slough House too. Hashtag big mistake. Oh my
Mm,
God.
mm,
Terrible
mm,
mistake,
mm.
Catfish.
Horrible. I mean, if I was him and he didn't get moved,
Yeah.
I think I would leave Slough House too. Go to the private sector.
Is it the connection with his grandfather why he doesn't? We know it seemingly would pay better. He'd have more respect. We saw Spider in the private sector in his last season, and Spider's terrible, but he was making money and seemed happier than he did when he was at the park.
Well,
Why isn't River going?
I understand the connection,
Hmm.
and up to this point, the connection, the belief in himself,
Yeah.
I can understand that he would get back.
Okay.
But if after he does this and he doesn't get back, I
Yeah.
think he has to believe he's never going to get back again. And so, he's going to do one of two things. He's either going to steal Co's bit, listen to podcasts during work, or steal
Heck
Shirley's
yeah.
bits and do bumps of coke during work.
Why not both?
Beautiful.
Speaking of beautiful,
Hmm.
Waylon drove me crazy with with his incompetence. Lamb at times during the season drove me crazy with his overconfidence and competence. They talk. Waylon is doing the London rules. He's gonna blame it on Lamb's gaff. It's over. And
Right. He says checkmate.
Waylon has a great line. Waylon's luscious line, Catfish. He's dissing Lamb. He says, "You'll leave quite a stain." Ouch! Ouch! And he
Now
means
the
that both
stain,
literally and figuratively.
and then the stain that ends up being left is the one
Oh,
in Waylon's pants when
oh,
Lamb tells him, "You are going to take the fall for all of this because I got this on the tape."
mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
he plays him the part of the, what is he plays him one part and then Waylon's like, that's not enough. And then he plays him the other part. So I think he plays him the prostitute part first. And then Waylon's like, okay, fine. And then he's about to leave. And then he plays the blackmail part.
right.
And
Well,
then he comes back.
the prostitute part. Dodie was going to print that anyway, right? Like he can't pretend that
Yeah.
excuse me, Catfish, he was an escort, okay?
Escort.
Get
Sorry,
it
excuse me.
straight. The escort was going to get out anyway. So there's only so much blackmail for something that's going to happen anyway can happen. But you're right. It's the blackmailing Dodie and Gimbal, her husband, mayor candidate Gimbal. That is the part that I'm not sure Dodie would get out because it'd reveal her secrets. So that's the thing that convinces him to say, when I said checkmate, I really meant check. I mean,
And we had some talk last week when we were like, how the heck is Ho going to get back? And
yeah,
that led to sort of a general discussion about whether Lamb really cares about these people, and whether he cares about them, he does recognize some value in them because
yeah,
as part of the blackmail plan, he gets Ho back.
incredible. I know Tavner owes him. She's finally achieved her dream of being first desk. But even then, I would be like, you can't have Ho back. Like, come on. There's no way you can allow Ho to still work at MI5 if you're Tavener and competent at your job, which maybe she isn't. Come on.
I agree with you. I agree with you. You always want me to agree with you, and here I am agreeing with you, the
Well,
person who gave this a higher rating than I did. But that
okay.
was for this episode, so
That
we're
was
going to
for
get to the
this
season.
episode. That was for
Okay.
this episode. You
And then
also,
finally,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I was going to say
we
you also
finally,
agreed with me, Catfish,
yes.
when I said that Lamb's torture story was about him, and you disagreed, but then you finally agreed when we see the bottom of Lamb's feet. Thank you.
Huh. This is going to be real good for anybody who hasn't listened to the previous podcast,
No, no, no.
in
They don't
which
need to.
I said it
No,
was
they
for
don't.
Lamb. The
No,
story that Lamb told was about Lamb.
no.
Bubba,
Yeah.
skeptical. He was skeptical.
I had to take the other side. This podcast is a back and forth, Catfish. Catfish, do you want to talk about the season 6 trailer now or save it for
Man,
later?
I love getting to the trailer for the next season. But Bubba, I
Yeah,
say we save it for the end of the
let's save it for
podcast.
the end. Oh
We
boy.
got lots of stuff to do. We got Triple R.
Triple R. What's
Roddy's raunchiness. And Bubba,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I initially wrote as the only thing for this was
Let's hear it.
something that you or I said during the podcast because I didn't have anything for this. And sure enough, Bubba, I wrote it down when you said it. When you said to the listeners, we are gonna give it to you. That is my
Thank you.
Roddy's raunchiness line of the week. Bubba is gonna give it to you.
Thank you. I'm glad that we finally have a reason to kill this segment as well.
All right, Bubba. Yeah. Crown Court Face Off. And that is going to be about the entirety of the season. We'll
Season
discuss
5.
how successful this season was. In the court, as usual. Everyone, before we begin, lock the doors,
And the
seal the
windows.
windows, close the windows. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look under your seats. I want you to look, British version of a bailiff. I want you to look over, open the closet, make sure no one's in there.
It's me, Rustaful the bailiff.
Yes, thank you. Court is
Your
clear.
Honor,
Court is clear.
Your Honor, I've done one further thing, if this is all right.
That's all right. Yes, what have you
You
done?
see this X-ray equipment I have brought.
Yes, yes.
I have X-rayed the entire room and the floors above and below us.
Yes.
And the hallways outside, and I can say we are only adults in the courtroom, so we have been spared any disruptions that some of our other trials may have had. So let's talk about
All right. Let's do it.
about season 5. Was it a successful season? Where does it rank amongst all the others? I will turn it over to lead attorney Catfish.
All right. Well, thank you, Your Honor. It is a pleasure to be. Whoa! Oh, those ducks were so cold when I crawled through them, but luckily I was wearing this suit that doesn't show on any heat sensors. Oh, Judge, here's your paper, Judge. Oh, I'm sweating like a pig, ma'am. All right. Well,
Rustaful the bailiff, what are you doing with that gun? You're pointing it right. You're shooting just like Shirley did right at this young whippersnapper.
oh no, is that Cole behind him? Cole, put down the knife. Oh, Rustafur.
The
What
bailiff
a
lived.
shame.
Oh, Cole, so incompetent. The bailiff lived. I can't believe it.
Well, Your Honor, I've
Yes.
got to get back to delivering me newspapers. But I've got to say, I watched all 5 seasons of this
Oh,
show.
you did?
And yes, I did, Your Honor. Yes, I did. We sit around at the hovel,
Okay.
and we turn it on. We watch it on a. It's an iPad that's cracked. But somehow they haven't forgotten to turn off a 3 month subscription, Your Honor. So I have to say this is my least favorite
Whoa.
of the seasons
Whoa.
of this show for many reasons.
Well,
I did many things were unbelievable to me, and I
oh
know
no.
that's part of the series. But Your Honor, Lamb was too ahead. Waylon was too behind, and the paint can thing, Your Honor, I'm leaving. Well, Your Honor, he said it well for me. Well, hold on, I'm not done. Someone's gotta boost me up to the shaft so I can leave. All right, Your Honor, I'll boost him up. All right, thank you, Your Honor. I rest.
Your
Thank
Honor,
you all.
Your Honor, anyone,
Yeah,
even an adorable street urchin who argues that season 5 is the worst season of Slow Horses, number one, they didn't
the
watch season 4.
the
But number
best.
two, maybe they are so young that they haven't appreciated uh, absurd comedy. This season was not the best season of Slow Horses. It was nowhere near the worst. Why not? River's dad wasn't being supervillain as if we were watching a 80s, late 80s Bond movie. Excuse me, mid 80s. I don't want to diss Timothy Dalton's films. This was a fine season. As we've proven, the Lamb's luscious lines, which are really why we watch this show.
Hmm.
You know, you can get action in a lot of shows. You can get tense scenes in a lot of shows, but the added element of humor makes this show great. And this season had as many lines, in some episodes, more lines than we could possibly deal with. Did it have an absurd paint twist of fate? It did, but it didn't make any of the characters behave unnaturally. And why we love this show is the characters. I think this season, while not my favorite, I think this season is a solid number 4 out of 5. For me, when you talk about unbelievable, I'm talking about River's dad in season 4 and River being in a different country and so removed. The teams working together, the characters we love working together, happen this season. This season is a successful season, and I have faith that season 6 will be even better. The prosecution rests.
Well, it's a shame that Rustafur was knifed in the neck because I would have your American ass dragged out of this courtroom.
Well, you may. It's me. It's me. The person who put on an American accent to appeal to the listeners.
Well, have you seen what's happening in America these days? I don't think that's quite an appeal.
A Canadian accent. I put on a Canadian accent to appeal to the listeners.
All right, Bubba.
Hey,
Listen.
who cares what we think, Catfish? We
Yeah,
want to know what you listeners think. What was your overall thoughts on Slough House Season 5 based on the novel London Rules? You know what to do on YouTube. Go down in those comments, ignore our silliness or insult our silliness, and go down and tell us your thoughts on Season 5 as a whole. If you listen to audio podcasts, we're on all social media handles. Just search for @PPHQ. We want to talk to you.
And Bubba, we love hearing from you. And so let's
Yes.
go to some feedback from episode 5. We have RSJ63 saying Rivers' desperate reply, Batman, hilarious.
Lamb, it's a luscious line. That's why we love it. And another person in the YouTube comments saw RSJ63 write that, and 1D Forever wrote, I thought just before he said it, Batman, and he had a crying laughy emojis. Hell yeah.
Oh man, and the Nathan Geck has a parallel for us.
Oh boy.
Waylon is the Cash Patel of MI5.
That's an insult to Waylon. That is hilarious comment, Nathan. Thank you so much.
All right, and Deborah Thomas says
Yeah.
they want the Whalen file because he is the next target for the honey trap before blind your enemy.
Heck
That's
yeah,
what River's
Deborah.
grandfather was trying to tell him. A honey trap is coming before blind your enemy. But you know what I think, Bubba?
Yeah.
I was right about that, but I think his grandfather was trying to say the other thing he was trying to come up with was not the second honey trap, but was the sting in the tail. So
Bees and honey.
I'll take a little bit of the L on that, but who won't be taking the L is Kilt Lover 1971, who said, "I'm still so sad about Louisa. I was
Yes.
hoping she would come through for River with a save from being on the outside. So did we. So did I. Louisa, she peace out."
Kilt Lover 1971 gave us this feedback on Spotify. We love all feedback.
Yeah,
Thank you
hell
so
yeah.
much for that. And
Yeah.
Catfish. Catfish.
Yes. Tell me.
And when we talk about true triple L's,
Triple L's.
longtime loyal listeners, Sean
Yes.
Gregan, who is on Twitter at HeyRep,
Holy
he
cow.
sent us this feedback. He is like the third, he's like with Matt. No, Matt's the third. Mork is the fourth. He is like the fifth member of Double P at this point. What did Sean Gregan say?
Oh my God. First of all, let me say I think Sean Gregan wasn't Sean the one who would show up for the midnight live pods?
He's very good when we do our match games. Sean is the best.
Sean, we love him. Sean said late to the Double P party on this one. What, Sean? Sorry. Great to hear Bub and Catfish examining the epitome of British cultural schizophrenia that is slow horses. I would recommend reading the books and the novellas to get a fuller picture of the characters like Co. Bub, I think he's telling you that.
He
On
is.
your episode 5 circus review and the story being improbable, it might be, but as Jackson is always saying, they're the fuck ups. And nasty coincidences happen a lot to the fuck ups because they keep messing up. Well, that's how I suspend disbelief.
Heck
Thank you
yeah.
very much, Sean. Another longtime loyal listener, Zephyr Cat,
Yes.
says, OMG, the 74 Impala ashtray had me laughing so hard. Bubba, someone who likes that bit. The specificity of the reference spoke to me. I'm a kid who was driven to the theater more than once to see Star Wars in 77, and it's possible a late model Impala may have been involved.
Oh, thank
I
you.
hope your finale podcast includes the Cockney Paperboy. He's hilarious. Look at that. We got it. We got him. He showed up one more time, Bubba.
If Zephyr Cat thinks that Cockney Paperboy is hilarious, that proves that, like Grandpa Cartwright, she's kind of floating.
Look, we love our listeners.
We do.
We never said we wouldn't insult them,
I'm kidding.
especially
I'm
ones that
kidding.
we love.
I'm kidding.
All right, Bubba, we got some more.
AJ had a prediction.
Yep.
He said Waylon will pin his colossal F up regarding Tara on Emma Flight and reassign her to Slough House. Ooh, that
Oh,
would have
man.
been perfect. But of course, that's actually too smart for Waylon AJ. So good. But he had an even more outlandish prediction, Catfish.
We love those. Let's hear it.
His outlandish prediction. Now, this hasn't happened this season, but maybe in
Oh,
future
man.
seasons. I love it. Taverner also gets sent to Slough House and has to share an office and a bathroom with Lamb. That would be brilliant.
No, she wouldn't. She would go to the private sector. There's no way.
Now, Catfish, AJ gave us feedback last week where he just wrote the word democracy. And you and I were like, what do you think AJ is trying to say by democracy?
Yeah.
So AJ cleared up our stupidity, my stupidity. He said, Bubba, you are wearing a sweatshirt that said democracy in the podcast on episode 3. I posted that one word comment because I saw what your sweatshirt was referencing. And yes, we should all be thinking about democracy right now because ours is currently on life support. Oh,
Oh, hell
thank you,
yes.
AJ. You're now replacing me on Slough House podcast. Very good.
All right, and Gen X Cat Mom on episode 5 gave it 9 out of 10 double W's.
Double W's.
Wimpy Whalen. This guy is too bumbling to be first desk. I wish he was like his Battlestar Galactica character
man.
who was smart, suave, and charming.
Yes.
Holy
didn't-
double cross, Batman. The last 15 minutes were exciting and set up the finale very well. River and Co. Meh. Oh, Gen
no.
X Cat Mom is with you, Bubba.
No, Catfish. Gen X Cat Mom is talking about this actor who plays First Desk Whalen in Slow Horses. He was
Yep.
he was Balthazar, was that his name on Battlestar Galactica? And he was brilliant in that show. He was almost as incompetent, probably more incompetent if you know everything that he kind of helped cause in Battlestar Galactica.
Well, but
But
that was more just it was more just like intelligent but unconcerned with the repercussions. Let's say that.
fair enough, fair enough. And I want to say that this actor, James Callis, I believe is his last name, great actor. So when we get frustrated, we're frustrated with the actor, not the character. But what's great,
Or
Catfish,
the character and not the actor, maybe.
whichever one is correct. That's right. So Gen X Cat Mom has
Yeah.
already seen the finale and sent us some feedback on our Blue Sky account. We love Gen X Cat Mom, Catfish. You went 7 out of 10 for this finale. I went 8 out of 10. Gen X Cat Mom wrote, wow, 10 out of 10 double Fs.
Double F's.
Fantastic finale. The way everything tied together was so clever. The recordings, the push knife, Shirley's skill, Waylon's woes. Look at these double W's she's coming up with. Grandpa. And OMG, the very last scene. It was all chef's kiss and left me wanting more. Plus the season 6 preview. OMG, Cyril. Oh, thank you, Gen X Cat Mom. A true double L.
I guess we just talk about season 6. We saw the trailer.
Yep.
It says here that we've got a sort of a breakdown. The spies head out on the run as Diana Taverner embroils them all in a fatally high-stakes game of retaliation and revenge.
No.
The 6th season was based on Mick Herron's novels Joe Country and Slough House, which are the 6th and 7th books in this series.
Catfish, let's talk real briefly about this. Season 6 will theoretically, I'm pretty sure this is true. It'll be the first season of Slow Horses that is based on 2 different books. We have certainly seen that before with our coverage of The Last Kingdom. But are you at all worried that, wait a minute, we've kind of had a gold doing 1 book, 1 season, and now we're going to do 2 books in 1 season?
Yeah, true, because they already have season. It's already been renewed for season 7. So
Yep. What,
yeah,
are
I am a
any
little
trepidation?
concerned.
Or?
A little trepidation, yeah. I mean, I wonder if it will feel like 2 books, or whether it will feel like 1 smooth story.
We will find out next year. The second thing we want to point out is that Slow Horses, through these first 5 seasons, we'd call him the showrunner, certainly the person in charge of the television show, was a guy by the name of Will Smith, and he is leaving now, Catfish. Will Smith is leaving, and he's going to have his number 2 step in and take over. Is that another possible fear we need to be watching for in season 6?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, that is, listeners, you tell us. We always say we have not read these later books in the series. I've only read the first book. Which book have you read in this series, Catfish?
I've read none of the books.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to ruin anything since I know they're hewing kind of close to it. I probably could go back and start reading some of them, the first couple of them now. And so, Bubba, did you want to talk about we got this? One of the great things about this show is the way they shoot it so fast.
Yes.
We don't have a. I looked for a timing for when they're going to show the next season. Could I just not find it, or do they not have it yet?
Yeah, they have not announced that yet, and they haven't actually put the season 6 trailer out by itself. As of the recording, you can only see it at the very end of the season 5, episode 6. So yeah.
Good. All right. So now there is something that might not be exciting to you.
Yeah, yes, that's true.
Considering you were talking about how much you hated season 4 and why you hated season 4 was River's dad. And guess who we see in the trailer for next season?
He's
it's River's
back.
dad
River's
again,
dad.
the big bad guy.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, there is hope, Catfish. Now,
When there's a hoe, there's a hope.
There is a hope that they're bringing him back to kill him. So that is my hope about River's dad. I'm like, yeah, give me a break. But
All right, and it looks like Lamb and the crew are on the run, so that's exciting.
Yep. We see Lamb going to Emma Flight's personal residence with Ho and a child. Ooh, you do not, if you're a single woman, you do not want to open up your flat to Roddy Ho or Jackson Lamb. I mean, let's be honest, right?
No, no. Although of the three of them, I would be more concerned about the baby, about the kid,
Hey,
dealing with the
now.
kid.
Hey, now. So the trailer does have a couple lines. In one, Lamb kind of spells out what the season's about. He says, he's talking to Flight about this kid. He says, his dad stole a file with the slow horses' names in it. Now he's dead and my Joes are being hunted. Uh-oh. Rut-row, is somebody going to kill Co? Boy, this could be the best season ever.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Kidding.
Maybe Coe and River's dad will kill each other, and then that episode will be an 11 out of 10 for you.
These goes to 11. But let me talk about why I am so psyched, Catfish. I love the
Tell me.
cast. I know I'm making these jokes about hating Co. I love this cast. I love all these characters except Co. So I really love them. But then you're telling me season 6 is going to add our boy Viserys Targaryen from season 1 of Game of Thrones, who played a wonderfully Weasley Viserys in season 1 of Game of Thrones. Then you're also giving us the actor who played Cyril Karn from Andor, who was so Weasley in Andor. Catfish, this could be the greatest season ever. I know we got a bunch of changes coming up for season 6, but adding these two actors, and if they play their typical type of characters, this could be great. This could be great. Cyril Karn is back. Viserys is back. Let's go. Hell yeah.
Love it, Bubba. I love it. We got to have all sorts of excitement for next season.
I know. When will it be? We don't know.
We don't know, but we do know, Bubba,
Yeah.
that we will probably be back here in the next few weeks as we decide between Pluribus and the show next Tuesday of next week at the end of Cemetery Road.
Which one will it be? For everybody here at the Slough House podcast, my name's Bubba. You can find me individually on social media at Fit and Trim. That's FITTENTRIM at Fit and Trim on social media.
And I am Catfish, and you can hit me up on Instagram and Blue Sky at G to the man, GEETOTHEMAN. And don't forget to hit up double PHQ everywhere for excitement. Follow us so you don't miss out on shows like Sean missed out for a little bit. Do not miss out. Follow us. We will tweet at you. We will whatever, zed at you, whatever it is. And we will talk to you next time on a podcast that is not Slough House.
Co's dead in the middle of the street. Slough House. Goes where we used to
I
be.
can't find my way out of the duct system.
Oh my God. Whoever sold me this X-ray I demand a refund.